All right, let's jump right in. We are absolutely swimming in educational technology these days, right? But here's the thing. How do we make sure we're using it as a real, powerful teaching tool and not just some flashy gimmick? That's exactly what we're going to unpack. And this, right here, this is really the million-dollar question. It's something every single one of us in education wrestles with. You've got all this amazing tech at your fingertips, but you have to stop and ask, is this actually making the learning better, or is it just a really expensive toy? So, to figure that out, we've got to talk about a really common trap. It's something that even the best, most well-meaning teachers can fall into without even realizing it. Okay, so picture this. We've got Maya, a new teacher. Her lesson plan looks awesome on paper, right? Slides, videos, a fun Kahoot game at the end. What could go wrong? Well, the reality was pretty much chaos. The kids were super engaged in one thing, winning the Kahoot game. But the actual learning goals? Nope. They were completely lost in the noise. And this quote just nails it. This is the heart of the problem. It has a name, false engagement. It's that illusion of learning. You look around the room, everyone's clicking, swiping, tapping away. They look busy, but it doesn't mean that any real deep learning is actually happening. Activity is not the same thing as achievement. So let's be really, really clear about this. The problem isn't Kahoot. It's not the videos or the tablets. The technology itself isn't the villain here. The real issue, the thing Maya had to fix, was her approach. It's all about how the tool is being used, or in her case, how it was being misused. And that brings us to the big pivot, the solution. It's a huge shift in how we think, moving from just being a person who uses tools to becoming something way more intentional and way more powerful. Just look at the difference here. This is a total game changer. The tool user gets excited about a shiny new app and then tries to cram a lesson into it. But the learning designer, whoa, they do the complete opposite. They start with the student and the learning goal and ask, okay, what's the best way to get them there? And only then they ask if a tool can help. This becomes the new mantra. It's everything. Learning first, technology second. It sounds so simple, but it's incredibly profound. It means you anchor everything you do in designing a real, meaningful learning experience. The tech has to serve that purpose. It can never be the purpose. Okay, so that mindset is great, but how do you actually do it? How do you put it into practice on, a busy Tuesday afternoon? Well, luckily there's a fantastic framework that's basically a blueprint for this exact thing. It's called the TPACK framework. And yeah, I know, it's a bit of a mouthful. Technological, pedagogical, content knowledge. But don't let that clunky name fool you. Think of this as your secret weapon for designing lessons that actually work. It's all about balancing 3 key pieces of the puzzle. So let's break it down. It's actually really simple. First, you've got your content. That's what you're teaching, the subject matter. Next, you have your pedagogy. That's how you teach it. Your methods, your strategies, the actual art of teaching. And finally, you have the technology, the tools you pick to help make it all happen. But here's the absolute key. The real magic isn't in any one of these things by itself. The power, the real learning, it happens right there in the middle, where all 3 of them overlap and connect. That's what we call the TPACK sweet spot. All right, enough with the theory. Let's see what this looks like when the rubber meets the road. I want to show you a concrete example of what this perfect TPACK alignment actually looks like in a real classroom. And you want to know the perfect case study for this? The absolute gold standard? The educational escape room. Seriously, when these are designed well, they are an incredible model for this philosophy because they force all 3 pillars to work together perfectly. And this right here is the secret sauce. In a truly great educational escape room, the puzzle isn't some prize you get after you learn. The puzzle is the learning. The very act of solving the puzzle means you are mastering the concept. It's brilliant. There's a term for this, pedagogical alignment, and it's a simple, powerful rule. To win the game, you have to learn the material. That's it. The goal of the activity and the goal of the lesson are exactly the same. You can't just click through it. There are no shortcuts. This table just lays it out so clearly. Check this out. In this game, Chrono Crisis, the content, the what, is Vygotsky's theory that learning is social. So the pedagogy, the how, is collaborative problem solving. And the technology, a digital cipher that is literally impossible for one person to solve alone. Do you see it? The tool forces the teaching strategy, which in turn teaches the content. That is the TPACK sweet spot. Okay, so that's all great, but how can you take this amazing idea and actually use it in your own work? Like for the lesson you're planning tomorrow? Well, you can follow this simple 3-step process. This is exactly what a teacher named Aisha did. And listen, the order here is everything. Step 1, always. Start with your content goal. What do they need to know? Step 2, choose your pedagogy. How will they learn it best? And then, and only then, step 3, you find a technology that supports the first two. Because, when you boil it all down, this is what it's all about. Great teaching was never about having the flashiest gadget in the room. It has always been about thoughtful design. It's about using the right tool for the right task to get to the right kind of learning. So I'll leave you with this one big question to take with you. The next time you sit down to plan a lesson, just pause for a second and ask yourself, what's really in the driver's seat here? Is it this shiny new app I want to try? Or is it the learning goal I have for my students? Getting that answer right changes everything. Because our job isn't just to deliver content anymore. We're not just information dispensers. We are architects of learning experiences. And we build those experiences one thoughtful, purposeful blueprint at a time.